it's so good
Hey,
to be
everybody.
back. Oh my gosh, Heidi and I are already having fun. You guys haven't even joined us yet, and we are
You're
having
having
fun.
a blast. Come join us. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, welcome. It's so great to have conversation about health and wellness, and you may be with us live today, or you may be watching this later on in a rerun or a replay, or maybe you're with us over on our podcast. So tonight has maybe already has passed, but it's interesting because I was asked to talk tonight, and I've just been so fired up about wealth is well-being. And we need to like embrace this well-being, and it's a choice, Heidi. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone that comes in to work with us, questions, I don't know. It is a choice about how you want to think and feel about your health. And well being is like this key to unlocking feeling fabulous. But sometimes people have these locks stuck and they're not willing to open the lock to feeling this true well being.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to kind of go down and talk today because the lock for a lot of people that they're not paying attention to is their metabolic health.
Yeah.
If you've read Dr. Casey Means Good Energy, it's all about your metabolic health is the engine to success if you're going to have diabetes or not, if you're going to have cardiovascular issues or not, right? If you're potentially going to have a stroke or something or not, maybe leading to cancer or not. And so I want you guys to understand the relationship to cardio to metabolic health with GLP-1s because Heidi and I have gotten a ton of information from so much research and colleagues and discussions. And at the same time, we're having so many discussions with people thinking, wait, what? Wait, what? A year ago when this all came out, it was like cheating the system. Like, no, you just cheated the system for fast weight loss. But like, I don't do that. And so there's this real conundrum right now. If people are like, wait, I thought it was a bad thing. I thought it was a good thing, right? And there is no like good or bad.
Right.
There's what do things do for you and your body for you. But before we like jump right in, let us do kind of a quick introduction. If those of you that are new to us, let us introduce ourselves properly. So, Dr. Heidi, take it away.
I'll just be quick. I'm Heidi I. I'm a naturopath. I'm certified in functional medicine, IFMCP, and I've been practicing functional medicine or doing alternative medicine for at least 30 years. Um, I came into functional medicine and alternative medicine through as an athlete, always looking for a higher performance, looking for a better diet, how to recover and do all these things. And it wasn't really till I moved to Europe and I started racing on Jeannie Longo's team. She was the world champion. I was racing for her, that we started employing different modalities, acupuncture, homeopathy, really dialing diet and being very specific about that. And it upped my performance, it upped my recovery, everything I wanted it to do. But I thought, this is so simple. When I retire, I want to bring this to the masses. I want every person to feel this engaged in their life, this vibrant and vital. And it's so easy. It's diet and lifestyle. And the more I did research, the more I went to school and got education, it really solidified that thought. And that's what I do is I want to support women and their aging and longevity and biohacking the heck out of it. So we slide into old age with robust and vitality.
Oh my gosh, Heidi, like, yes, who doesn't want that? Like, okay, cool. So if you're not following us, follow us for more. If you're not in our programs, join us because who doesn't want to slide into old age like feeling like so fabulous? And you guys, my journey for myself, I'm Kellie Lupsha. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years, but I have lived it like Heidi lived it, meaning I made a decision at 40 that by the time I'm 50, I don't want to feel like crap. And I also don't want to die young that some people in my family had. Therefore, what do I need to do to take control of my health, become the CEO of my health, so I can live vibrant for myself, for my family, for my community, right? So that's what I've done over the past over 10 years now is I did it with my health and now I teach women to do the same. And it's really, we all want to make it hard. We all want to think like, oh, that will take too much effort, too much money, too much this. It is not the case. But one of the things that's a really hot topic as of current, which again, everybody knows, is the real talk right now of GLP-1. So, Heidi, let's just start. We've talked about GLP-1s at previous podcasts, but long ago, and I think what we really are here is we want to demystify this I'm cheating if I take a GLP-1. And there's different sorts, how to take it is different, and you could even take ways to actually activate it naturally. So there is a spectrum, but the bottom line is, and Heidi, that's what I want you to just start with, is why is GLP-1 important in the body?
Oh my gosh. GLP-1, we have genes that manufacture that are signalers to make GLP and GLP-1. And they are highly, highly active when we're younger. Like a lot of the things we make in our body are highly, highly active and produce high amounts when we're young to keep up with us. And then they tend to decline as we age, or they decline in production with illnesses, infection, trauma, being obese. It sort of clogs the system. And the GLP-1 has an effect on our brain, our cardiovasculature, not only weight loss, but neurological support as well, and vascular support. So there has a widespread signaling. It's a signal to our body to do what it's designed to do really, really efficiently. So getting a little bit more of that or turning back on that system is profound in its effects. Turning it on too much, you're going to have bad side effects. So it's all in the way you do it, right? But GLP-1 is a signaling agent. We make it. Um, and it's very effective, but it does slow down with different causes and reasons in our body.
So I think I mean, that's such a beautiful place to start because knowing that if you're listening to our podcast, chances are you're over 40. If you're younger, cool, we're glad to have you. But, maybe your system is still operating a little bit better, but just a little bit. Believe it or not, just because we didn't live long years ago. So our systems, Heidi, our system weren't designed to like be full throttle through our 50s, 60s, 70s. Our system was designed that, oh, you're going to die by 50. And so in your early 20s to mid 20s, we're going to start winding things down. That's really what it kind of was is and maybe even we lived into our 60s. So it's like, cool, you're good to 30. Your next 30 years, let's just slow this sucker down. But now it's like, oh no, the world, our life, our body's designed so well and we have protection now that maybe from, horrible diseases, right? That we weren't protected against long ago. So we're not going to die of all those crazy things that our ancestors 100 years ago died of. Therefore, we
Woolly
have
mammoth attacks and such.
exactly, exactly. Well, with all that being said, um, everybody started taking this because everybody saw that it was successful for weight loss. Originally, obviously designed for those people that had this metabolic storm, people who were diabetic. But if they were diabetic, diabetes is only a scale, right? Many people have like what's pre-diabetes to diabetes, right? We're all on that line. So it's just this scale.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't diabetic, or maybe you weren't even quite pre-diabetic, it was like, uh-oh, my system's slowing down. Let me just take the big guns and make this happen. And initially, the pre-done pharmaceutical um, measurements were just for diabetics. So those people that were taking a full dose, because there wasn't anything different initially, right? It was kind of just that or nothing.
Mhm.
People did start seeing some pretty terrible side effects, right?
Yeah. Well, initially the dosing wasn't really as targeted as they realized that they needed to be. And so that it was at higher dosing that caused any negative side effects or the
Right.
too rapid of weight loss. You know, insulin, let's go historical. Insulin is the original peptide.
Right.
Right? It's the original, and everyone knows that insulin was given to diabetics, but it's the original peptide. And now they've just really refined that and broken that down. And to your point, there's that sort of spectrum or that line of where do you fall on this? Because so many people pass much of their life in insulin resistance, that pre-diabetic step. But this is where you have all the inflammatory effects. This is where you have the big weight gain, and then you can't have it. And then the next step is only diabetes because the clogging of this insulin resistance time. And really, when you look at the research, it says about 93% of adults have metabolic dysfunction,
Wow.
even kids. I mean, that's a number that I keep having to say, is that right? Am I reading that right? I put on my glasses, I take off my glasses. I'm really saying 93%. But yes, 93% of the adults have dysregulated metabolic systems. I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. There you go. Try again. Nope. Can't hear you. Uh-oh, we lost Kellie. Let's see.
Heidi, how about now?
That's good.
Okay. All right. My microphone, sorry, you guys. It was like a mic failure, replug in, and then no sound.
Whoops.
Yeah, who knows? But that's kind of like system failure. Honestly, like what you're talking about, people are waiting, they're in this pre-diabetic stage for so long, and then they hit diabetes because now it's system failure.
Yeah.
And so earlier on, we need to really address these matters, and we can do a lot through diet and lifestyle. But sometimes the body's like, hey, like you need a nudge. You need a little more. Like, let's get going. And
Yeah.
we've got other pathways that do similar things. And now let's take a look at somebody who is not full-blown diabetic. Now let's talk about everybody else, right? Because we're really all in a flux of potentially pre-diabetes. It's anything before diabetes is pre-diabetes. Let's
Right.
be, you don't actually have to have a number to say you're pre-diabetes. I know that's what the doctor wants to give you a number, but we're all like, but are you like here or are you here?
Yeah.
And the better your systems are working, the better everything is working. So after people were giving kind of these full one dose medications, which a lot of the brand names were, all of a sudden people started realizing that, oh, maybe that's too much for some people and could go smaller. And so let's talk about the difference of low dosing versus micro dosing. Because I think that is important for people of there is, I'm going to say the dose, meaning pharmaceutical doses that you get that are preset, but you could have lower dosing. And for others of us who are looking for just more of a longevity benefit, like you were talking about, Heidi, with for our bones and our heart and our brain, that maybe the best option isn't even low dose, but it's microdosing. And we'll kind of talk about that before we go into what we can even do naturally.
Yeah. So there is that, again, everything's on a line, isn't it? And, typically the dosages and the pharmaceutical companies too, we have to give them credit when you can and give them credit. Is they are starting to give lower doses. So where they would begin, I believe, at 5, they're now going down to 3, 2.5, 2.0. So they have these preset injections at lower dosages. But then there's also this trend for people who aren't on the insulin resistance, but they do struggle with spikes up and down. Stress can cause spikes up and down. So getting maybe a microdose of GLP, meaning 0.05, 0.5, like just a smidgen. It's a smidgen. That's a microdose, right? So not even a full-on milligram dose or mil dose, can make all the difference to help with stress response, right? So the natural stress response of inducing cortisol. Cortisol induces higher insulin that can help lower that insulin, thereby lowering cortisol, helping with those environments that create things like insulin resistance and then diabetes. But that microdose can be all the thing you need to get the body to start signaling more efficiently, improve the signaling so you sleep better, recover better, less cravings for sugar, get your appetite better, more under control. It doesn't always need a big gun or a big shot because you're not there yet. You're not close to that spectrum. But these microdosing and even low dosing, the microdosing is just a smidgen, and then you have your low dose.
So this, I love this. And let's bring it into the fact that, so this is just data and fact and biology, everybody. So when everybody was thinking like, oh, it's cheating the system to go on, let's just say Ozempic, right? Because it's probably one of the most popular ones everybody knows.
Yeah.
This is because at the time, everybody was taking these very high doses, getting rapid weight loss, knowing that it wasn't healthy for the body. So then everybody was like, oh, I would never do that. Oh, that's just cheating and weight loss. Like that was the conversation for the past, I'll say all of 2024 and into early 2025. So now people are like, oh God, I said I would never do it. I said I was cheating. And so they're scared to death to actually start.
Yeah.
So maybe let's talk about like, is it dangerous? Would it be harmful? Like, where would somebody start? And we'll talk about that a little bit. And then if somebody was really against the pharmaceutical route, it's still so powerful. You need to activate this in your body. We'll talk a little bit about the natural route.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I get in the office is different kinds of fear. Some people just don't want to do it because it's called a pharmaceutical, because they have to have a prescription, etc. And this was pharmaceutical, made and put out there. Actually, not just the pharmacies are doing it, but other biochemists. But so they have this fear of pharmaceutical, that it's all bad. They're only in it for money and so there's that mindset. And then there's, I don't want to go on a drug. And I'm like, but it's not a drug. And the difference is drugs have a litany of side effects, right? GLP-1s are natural. If you go too high of a dose, you will have side effects. Most people talk about pancreatitis, chronic nausea, chronic diarrhea, things like that. Initially, you may have it, but generally, I tell the people, if you're having those things, you're on too high of a dose. A colleague, Dr. Tina Moore, who does a lot of talks on GLP and microdosing. She's really one of the foremost speakers on microdosing. But I love her quote is, the dose is the poison. It's not the item, it's not the GLP-1, but it's the dose that makes it a poison or not. Just like pretty much anything, right? You drink too much water, you're going to drown. It's even a wonderful thing at too high is going to be bad. So we have to get past the pharmaceutical part of it, in that it's all bad, it's all junk. These GLPs, for the most part, are straightforward. They're not complicated with a bunch of fillers, excipients, and things like that. They have to be changed to become a pharmaceutical a little bit from their natural 100% natural form, but they're still very close to our genetic makeup and can trigger that signal. And so the side effects should be little to nothing, and proper weight loss. If it's rapid weight loss, it's too high of a dose. Rapid weight loss equals muscle loss.
Absolutely. And maybe before we go into talking about natural, is the fact that you and I have had big discussions about the beautiful thing about a peptide is it goes in, it does its job, and that's it. So maybe so people can kind of understand that is a natural occurring role inside of us. And so this is just enhancing that.
Yeah, we have so many peptides because peptides are a signal, right? So they're just signaling agents. You think of, the old Um, telephone person, plugging them in. Hello, I'll plug you into, room 45 and that kind of thing. They're just there signaling. It's just a big computer signaling activity, action to get things going. And so we have just a litany of these peptides. But if we can signal the one, pull out this GLP-1 and get that to act better, we're going to get all of the benefits. And I forgot your question, Kelly, of
Oh, one, just so people can kind of really understand what a peptide is and that it
right.
to do its action and then it goes away,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah. And so we make these peptides, and because it's a signal, you don't need to keep doing the signal over and over, say the same thing over and over. Hey, go pick up that cup. Hey, pick up the cup. Because once you pick up the cup, you don't have to send the signal anymore. That's how the GLP-1 works, or any of these peptides work. They have a target, they know their target, they go in, they hit their target, and then they leave because they know they've hit their target. They don't hang around. This is why we don't have toxic side effects from them, because they don't hang around in the system and require more metabolism or another organ system to flush it out and detox it, et cetera, et cetera. So it hits its target and it's done. So that's a beauty of it, and that's why there should be very little side effects from it in the right dose.
in the right dose. I love
Yeah.
this. And so you guys, then some of you are like, well, I've been on it. I don't want to be on it forever. So then how do I make sure I'm keeping it? Or a few of you are like, it's just not for me. And that's okay too. There are foods that you can eat to support it because number one, you do need very good gut health. Like here we all do to help no matter what, be able to utilize and have the receptors open. So you all should be working on your gut health. But on top of that, there is a lot out there that unfortunately is marketing and rebranded and re-white labeled out there right now of a GLP-1 support. Be careful of that because there are a lot of products that say they are, but they're not really doing a whole heck of a lot for you. Except for there is one right now that has some really great clinical research on it that helps your body not only make more GLP-1 hormone, anywhere from like 140 to up to 200% naturally, but it also, as part of the system, it's cleaning off the receptor sites in the gut, your GIP receptors, to be able to use that GLP-1. So it's a pretty ingenious system that we've had a lot of people on with some great success. I really call it, just like I call even the GLP-1s, is this is just optimizing your metabolic health, right? And so that's what I love. So maybe you just want to share a little bit more about the mind body natural system for those people that are just like not interested. It just isn't going to have maybe as quick of a response because
Right.
it's getting your body to do it naturally. Anything your body's going to make, it's going to take more time than something direct.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great that we have something like that. But the reality is, because our body makes GLP-1, we go back and we say, well, how does it make it? Right? Instead of having to take an injection or something synthetic or a pharmaceutical, people will say, well, how can I get my body to make more of it? It all comes from the microbiome, right? It all comes from what bugs you're feeding, the good ones, and are you feeding them well? And if you're feeding them well, those peptides, those amino acids, those protein turned into amino acids, they'll get the peptides, they'll go out and they'll do their job. So our production of the GLP-1 remains higher when we work on our microbiome. So when you want to go down to that, if people are nervous about doing the shot injections, I say, well, let's start with really feeding the good bacteria that we know love this stuff and will then produce more GLP-1 and activate your GIP, which is going to be more around the receptors, like Kelly was saying. And so the mind body system by LifeVantage really does that because it gives you some signalers and then it gives you this wonderful collection of fibers and that feed those good bacteria in a really efficient way. And so we start producing our own GLP-1 more effectively, not as quickly, right? So you're not going to have the fast weight loss, but you're going to have to do the things you would normally have to do with an injection as well. You're going to have to focus on getting more protein. You will have to keep exercising, keep moving, and this will, all the synergy of it will work really, really well. But even if you raise, this is where the difference between a microdose of GLP-1 or working on your microbiome and using this natural system. I think you're going to get more effects with the natural system than just the microdose.
Yes, and I'm just going to give you guys one quick story because I just had a beautiful conversation yesterday with somebody that is on this natural mind body system. She's 7 weeks in, but I sent her information to say, hey, to get this really working, then you need to be able to do all the lifestyle things that we've been preaching all along, right? No matter if you're taking or not taking a GLP-1, you should still be doing these things. And it's really monitoring your hydration because most of us think we're drinking enough and we're not. So she is like, I'm like nailing it, Kellie. She's making sure she's really starting her morning off, really getting that 30 grams of protein in. Like, awesome. Congratulations. She was not lifting weights before. And she's a woman in her around her 50s. And she was only pretty much doing yoga. And now she started lifting 3 to 4 days a week for the past 7 weeks. She's been consistent. So now that she's doing these extra things, we call them accelerators. These are really lifetime lifestyle habits we should all be doing. If you're not, start there. Like, come on, you guys. Like, nothing's going to be the miracle. So start there. But because she did the work, she was a good student. She did the work. This natural system in 7 weeks, she's been down 10 pounds and she's wearing dresses that she couldn't get in before because her body's changing. And she says, even though I've only lost 10 pounds, I feel like I've lost even more because I'm like becoming shapely again because she's losing that toxic belly fat and maintaining muscle mass or probably gaining muscle mass, honestly, and bone density.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, her story is wonderful, but what the key takeaway of the story is that she did all the things. She said, okay, if I'm going to take this and spend the money on this, I guess I'm going to have to do these enhancers. And I love that word. That these enhancers to get the body activated to do what this brilliant, most wonderful, incredible body and gene set is designed to do. And any way that we can help our body do that, just activate our own system, I'm all in.
All in. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I hope this helps those of you that are like, I'm cheating the system. I said I would never do it. We just want to empower you to understand there are tremendous health benefits. Remember, your well-being is your wealth. Like, you must keep yourself well. So we would encourage you guys, like, do one or the other. Honestly, if you're not on a GLP-1 either, reach out to Dr. Heidi and I, drop down. Are you interested in learning more about taking a dose, a low dose, or a microdose? Or would you like to start natural? And we'll give you some recommendations and a great place to start.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know your concerns and we can walk you through it.
We can walk you through it. So with that, you guys, we hope we've kind of allowed you to take a breath and been like, okay, let me come back and enter this conversation again. And you're not like, you know, cheating yourself. The power of education is we're on this lifelong learning journey. And when we learn more, we can do more and make better decisions. And that's really what we're bringing you, education, to empower you to take control of your health.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, we will see you next week. Drop down below how we can help support you in your GLP-1 journey.
Absolutely.
Till next week.
Take care. Be well.